How are we doing, everyone? Like, let me hear a little shout out in the chat group right there. I want to know where you guys are logging in from in the chat. That's right. Get your cameras on. Yep, your cameras on. So those of you that have never met me, hello, hi. I am Melanie Aristide. I'm going to be your host for tonight for today's training. I want to share a quick tip with you. So I'm actually part of a mastermind group. To be part of that mastermind group, it costs 70,000 US dollars a year to be part of this, mentorship group. And whenever we jump on, they always say to us, get your cameras on, get your cameras on. And we're actually not allowed on the call without the camera being on. And I'll tell you why. It's like the way that you show up, right? Which is super, super important. So I want to encourage you tonight for you to start showing up, start showing the level of engagement. So the training has started, by the way. I'm just diving straight in. That's true Melanie style. I'm like, hey, let's get to the point. Let's start learning. Let's start earning. Let's just jump in. But I want to encourage you, if you can, turn on your cameras tonight. And like, look, guys, I'm having half my dinner here. I had like dinner in 10 minutes real quick because today was a crazy day. You know, the time change happened. We forgot about the time change. We forgot about dinner. So I had a quick dinner in between presentation and now, but I'm still going to have my video on because I'm going to be muted while our guest starts talking. So don't worry, but I want to see that you're present because guess what? Your team's watching you. And it's very difficult to influence your team if they can't see you, right? I want to make sure you also got a pen and paper ready to take some notes. Why would you have someone show up to be successful who's being successful and not taking notes about what they are talking about? I'm telling you, look right here, notes. You see this notebook right here, the whole notebook? All of that is full with notes. I need to buy a new notebook. So just get yourself a pen and paper so that we are ready to jump in. Those of you that have turned on your cameras, congratulations. Zolly, Charity, Janet, Tamara, Princess, LJ, Laurie Johnson. What a name. I love it. Sandy, congratulations. Gabor, great job. Emola, I love that. Benson, Dr. Ayekba, Rustica, Pernilla's got the camera on. So you guys are the ones just leading from the front line. Your team's going to be watching you, right? And so even when I have a guest at a presentation, I know that the number one thing about the camera is it builds trust. Number two, it allows me to show up at a different level, right? It's just super important. Hello, Dr. Abdullah from Nigeria. Awesome. Yeah, I think it's just so important to like play the game the way that you mean to continue on. And so I'm gonna need everybody to, like really pay attention tonight in a way that they've not paid attention before, because we're gonna have a special guest logging on very, very shortly to impart wisdom onto us, to share how he did it, to share how he has quick momentum. Okay, some of you got bad signal. I get it. In that case, just listen in. Just listen in, but imagine you being watched by 100 people who respect you right now. I love that. I love that. Okay, so let's learn as if we're broke. Let's learn as if our life depends on it, because it does. Let's make sure that we are ready to apply knowledge. So tonight is not about like having knowledge and never using it. It's applying immediately. It's being able to take what you learn and use it immediately. So I am just checking on with Martyn, our guest speaker, to see where he is at. Okay. He's running on a little Africa time because the clock's changed today. So that's not just me being late with that. There's a couple of other people suffering with that. That's all right. Take this moment to go ahead and just message your team. Just let them know, like, hey, we've started. Who's got that cute little doggy? Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Um, right. Oh my God, that is gonna distract me the entire meeting. He's so cute. I love that. Right. So just while we're waiting for Martin, here's what I would do. I would message your whole team and let them know, like, hey, we are getting started right now. We are going to be moving, we are going to be grooving, we're going to be taking notes, and we're probably going to go for like the next half an hour, right? So the next half an hour, we're going to be taking notes. So while we're waiting for Martin to come on, I want to share with you my top 3 tips to getting this done. So I think the biggest thing is just working, right? Like the more you do it, the easier it gets. And so I was in this discussion the other day, which was called "Your morning routine is not the key to success." Right? And so there's so many people out there, they're doing the whole morning routine. They're getting up, they're doing a cold plunge, they're reading the book, they're meditating, they're going for a walk, they're working out. By the time they do that whole morning routine, the day is finished. Like they're doing all the stuff they've got to do, but not one thing in their morning routine led to them actually making money. So actually the key is like, yeah, you got to have some great habits in your life, absolutely. But you can't make the whole day about your habits because the biggest habit you have to have is working this business consistently. Is that making sense? That makes sense to you? Drop a yes in the chat. Drop a yes in the chat. Awesome. Awesome. Let me see where Martin is at. Let me see where Martin is at. Awesome. So that's one of my first tips. The second thing, and I say this every training that I do, I say this, and if you've been to one of my trainings, you know how this goes. What we're gonna start an AI companion. I don't even know what that is. All right. Where did my chat go? Here it is. Okay, cool. So I think one of the next important things is gratitude. So if you've got your pen and paper right now, you've got to start from a place of being grateful. You got to start from a place of being grateful. And when I say that, what are you grateful for with regards to Viago? Are you having more pain in your business than pleasure? That's because you forgot how to have gratitude and how to be thankful for the opportunity that you had, right? So did you meet a really great friend that you wouldn't have met if you weren't in Viago? Have you had a really cool travel experience that you never would have had if you weren't in Viago? Have you had more laughter in your life because you're part of Viago? Have you had more personal growth in your life because you're part of Viago? Like, what have you had? I mean, start typing into the chat. Let me know just 1 or 2 things that you're grateful for. Just everybody drop a nugget. What are you grateful for in Viago? And so when you start with this mindset of gratitude, you start with the mindset of, I am grateful for this company because it gave me something extra in my life. Oh, Imola, you're too sweet. Um, and I'm grateful for you guys. I say it all the time. You guys really light me up. We were just talking about some of the stories you guys created this weekend. But when you start with that mind of like, yeah, it really did this for me, when you invite someone, because you're already grateful that somebody invited you, you come from that place of not taking, but of giving because you're giving opportunity. You are not taking someone's money, you are giving. So I want to see you give when you pick up that phone. When you start dialing, and in the sales world, we call it dialing for dollars. Here it's not necessarily that because once somebody gets into the business, you got to get to work with them. You got to get busy, right? It's not a one-time transaction here. It's a lifelong dedication to serving and helping people, but you got to start from within. You got to start with gratitude before you even pick up the phone. So that's a little tip for you right there. Martin, if you're on the call, can you just let me know in the chat? Martin, if you're on the call, can you let me know in the chat? Just message me, just DM me. All right. I know sometimes in Africa there can be some crazy Wi-Fi. But are people getting value so far? Is this valuable for you while we wait? Are we doing some good learning right now? I'm always grateful for my friends and my new family and all the laughter and memories all over the world. I love that. I'm grateful for a community that gives you friends. Yes. Yes. Meeting positive people. Yes. I'm grateful for the social network and the extra income opportunity. Yes. I love that. I love that. And so just ask yourself, like, if you didn't have Viago, how would you have an opportunity to make the extra money? Investing's a risky game. Sometimes you put in 2K and you lose 200 next week. Real estate, you gotta have like 40K down to get something, and then it takes years to increase that. Side business, Uber's pretty lonely, right? But here, you can work it from the comfort of your own home. You can work with your friends. You can choose who you bring into the business. So much to be grateful for. So far, we're getting to work. We're also going to be grateful. Step 3, believe you can. Believe you can. So sometimes at the end of a presentation, we talk about the objectives. There's one of them that I don't believe we dive deep enough into. So I'm gonna dive into that with you, this particular objection. And so one of the objections is, it's, when people tell you, I want to think about it, that's what we call uncertainty, right? And so the first key to eliminating uncertainty is you got to be certain yourself. This is deep. So if you're hearing, I want to think about it, I want to think about it, I want to think about it, are you thinking about getting all in? Are you thinking about it, or are you doing it? Because maybe there, I think about it, is them holding the mirror up to you on what's really going on in your mind. And so where does that I want to think about it come from? 4 things. Something happened in their past that's not allowing them to move forward. Second thing, they don't believe they can do it. Third thing, they don't trust you. If they don't trust you, we got to build your credibility. And you got to look, again, this business is going to be like a mirror. People didn't trust me when I started 13 years ago. Why should they? I was a broke kid, 22 years old, living in a shared house, struggling to pay rent, struggling to put food on the table. Would you have trusted me to take you to the dreams? No way. I wouldn't have trusted me to get myself there. In fact, I didn't trust myself to get there. And that's why I had to do. That's why I had to do it, right? And then the 4th thing is believing in themselves. So you gotta help them to believe in themselves. And just, how you can use that? You can say, like, you know what? I believed in you enough to be here. So you could at least believe in yourself, because I'm that one person that believed in you enough to give you a chance to invite you. I thought you could be good. So you should start believing in yourself too. So just a little insight right there. But now it is enough of my ramblings. I hope that was helpful to everyone. But we've got somebody really special who's going to take it away for us for the next 20 minutes. Somebody who's got a story prepared, and he is here to impart his wisdom upon us all the way out of Africa. This man, when I first saw him speak for the first time, I said, oh my God, he is excited. He is on fire. He is creating momentum, and he is a decider and a leader. What he chooses to do, his team just follows. And I love that. But also, he's very genuine. He checks something before he decides to dive in. He makes sure it feels right for him first. And, I remember one of the first times I saw him on screen do a training, the level of all in that he was, like, I was like, wait. Did I just see? Like, this is the thing that blew my mind. I was like, did I just see a light logo of the company in his living room? Like, what? That's how all in he was. He was designing. He was interior designing his house with company logos. So when he makes choices, he's all in. So guys, I want you to give us the warmest welcome in the chat. The warmest welcome in the chat for Mr. Martyn Diho, all the way from Uganda. Martyn, you made it! Hey! What? What's up?
Hey, Melanie, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I was here just listening to you. I just got plugged in actually right now and I don't know, maybe you've been talking for a while, but I just got it now and just had you, talk about, the ceiling, go out, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's a good idea. The next thing will be an arrow, you know?
I love that. Let's go, Viago.
Oh, yes. So thank you so much, Mel. And I'm so sorry. For some reason, I didn't even know there was daylight saving happening your side. So I thought it was 9 p.m. and I was on the road, but I managed
Wait,
to
that
make
didn't
it.
happen for you guys? So this only happened for us in Europe?
Oh, it only happens to you guys. We don't have that stuff. We don't have that. Come on, for us, we are okay all
Crazy.
year round.
Someone stole my hour this morning. I was mad. I needed that hour and they took that from me.
No, we don't
Crazy.
have that in Africa. We don't have that in Africa. So it only happens to you guys, and we feel sorry for you. So, anyhow, thank you so much for having me on this call. And I'm not sure if you wanted us to be, you want it to be like more of an interview or something, but I'll go straight up and, get to introduce myself and talk about a bit about my background, and then we kick it from that. If you have anything to ask me that you need me to talk about, I'll be more than, ready to do that. So thanks once again. So my name is Martyn Diho, and I'm a statistician by profession, and I've been in this industry for 10 solid years. And I happened to see this through a complete stranger. I saw this industry through a complete stranger who reached out to me on Facebook. And, the time he reached out to me, I was running two businesses, two companies, doing really well. I wasn't complaining, but, I was, at that point in life where I was working from Monday to Monday. I had zero time for myself. I had zero time for my children. And it was getting to me because, working from Monday to Monday, waking up very early in the morning, getting back, leaving them sleeping, coming back very late in the night, finding them sleeping. And I knew there was another way to live life, not just, existing. So anyhow, when this guy shared this with me, I was blown away. I saw happy people. In fact, I saw happy people and traveling the world. And, I'm like, come on, I want to be with these guys. And somehow they had something that they would pull, and this thing would say, you should be here. I'm like, come on, they are speaking to me. So I got started immediately, and I was the first Ugandan to get started in that concept. And we went ahead to do great things. And that's the reason for the inspiration about the ceiling, having the logo, the swimming pool, having the YSBH. And yeah, so I mean, it all was going well until COVID came in and obviously kicked us out. So the last 3, 4 years, I've been trying to look out for something that could either come close to what we had before or even be better, and see God. Something just comes up and it is even way better than what we had before. And I am so excited about it. In fact, people think I'm crazy about it, but they haven't seen crazy yet because I'm gonna be crazy, like really crazy. I haven't even gotten started. So yesterday I was in traffic headed home, and people were mad, hooting, honking here, there, and they were all making noise about being in traffic, what this. I made it fun. I would draw the window down and I'm like, hey, have you heard about Viago? And they're like, no, what is that? I'm like, take my number. I'll call you up. I'll send you a video. Drop me a message. I'll send you a video. Crazy. I started having fun in traffic. It was really, I'm like, guys haven't seen crazy. I'm about to really, really go crazy about this. So that's basically me, and I'm super fired up I'm so excited to be a part of Diago, and I just can't wait to really start going crazy about it because I've just been practicing and now it is time. to actually go all out and kill it.
Wow, that's amazing, Martyn. I'm actually just taking some notes as we're going down as well. So I hope everybody else taking some notes. So I guess just to comment on a couple of those notes, when you were, some of us were in that same boat of like, how are we going to find something better? And I think the answer is we make it better, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't find something better. We as leaders make it better. And I've just been practicing. I love that. I've just been practicing. What a mindset. So, like we got a lot of people on the call today. And guys, if you got any questions for Martyn, I'm going to be monitoring those in the chat. So feel free to like drop them and we'll get Martyn's insights there. But Martyn, let's say, for example, you were brand new. Like you didn't have, like, what you know now, but imagine like you could build again for the first time with all of the knowledge that you have. What would you be doing on day one?
Well, I think knowing what I know now compared to when I had just gotten started in this industry is, I mean, I won't say it is anything that comes easily to everyone, but it takes a bit of time for you to get to that level. And especially having zero emotional attachment, because what most people do is when they speak to one or two people and they say no, they want to quit. Like, no, I'm not cut out for this. This won't work for me. But because I have, grown over time, and that is why I've been able to enroll 73 people in the last 90 days, 73 personals. And that is simply because I'm not saying I've not gotten people that have said no to me. But when you say no to me, obviously I make sure you follow me on Instagram and Facebook because I'm about to haunt you. Okay. So what I would do now, if you're a new person, especially in this industry, so basically it's all about staying closer to the fire, attending the Zooms, attending the trainings, going for these major events, and in a nutshell, staying closer to the fire. Because when that happens, you get to meet lots of people that are going through the same things you're going through. And when you hear their experiences, it helps you build your confidence. You get to know that it's not only you, but every other person is going through the same. And as people are going through the same, but then you compare, are they also getting some success somewhere? If yes, then if you've spoken to maybe 5, 10, 20 people and no one has said yes, that means it's just a matter of time and your yeses are coming. So you just have to go through the numbers. And again, while we were in Dubai, I learned something from Eric G when he said, depending on what objection you're getting, if it's the money objection that you're getting over time, that means you're talking to the wrong people. Okay? It means you're talking to the wrong people. Try to change the kinds of people that you're talking to. And if you're talking to people, they're giving you a time objection, maybe you're also talking to the wrong people. Try to change and talk to other people as well. So usually the very first people that we run to are our best friends and our relatives, our family, but those won't celebrate you until strangers do. So usually when we get to hear from our relatives, people that are closest to us, because in our own feeling, like for us, when we are talking to our relatives, we expect a lot from them. So we expect them to join us in whatever we tell them. But that's not the case. And the number one reason your friends and family won't join you is because they think they are smarter than you. And they can't believe that suddenly it is you that is bringing a concept like this to them. They would rather be the ones to bring it to you. So the number one reason they won't join you is because they think they are smarter than you. So you don't have to have your feelings hurt simply because they've not joined you. So, I mean, if you are new to this industry, you are going to face that. You are going to get a lot of rejection here and there. And that also comes from the way that you present the information. How are you presenting the information? Are you just calling someone to invite them, or are you presenting on phone? Most times, if you are calling someone to invite them for a presentation and you start presenting, you've killed it. They will dodge you for they will dodge you until you give up. Or they will even show up and just water down your idea because of the way you presented it. If you've just joined, why would you start talking about travel, making money? Because they'll ask you questions you can't answer. And the moment they realize you don't even know what you're talking about, then they bring their expertise. They tell you they're an expert in figuring out what scams are. They've been to Egypt and they've seen the pyramid schemes, the pyramids or whatever it is. They will tell you all those things and words. And the moment you hear pyramid, because you are not even sure yet, because you've heard about pyramids. Now, when someone mentions that's a pyramid, you're like, oh yeah, it could be, it could be. Then fear kicks in. Like, come on, you need to put your chest up there. Like me, if someone tells me, hey, isn't that a scam? I'm like, really? So you mean I can bring a scam to you? Like, really? Is that how you think of me? Is that what you think of me, really? But then I go ahead to educate them because most people do not even know the difference between a pyramid scheme and a legit company, because pyramid schemes are illegal. First of all, I'll tell you, pyramid schemes are illegal. You don't expect me to be doing something illegal, do you? Okay. Then I'll go ahead and describe what a pyramid scheme is. It's when there's exchange of money without a product or service. Do we have a product? Absolutely. Are we legit 100%? Okay. I'll tell you straight up in the eye. And I'm like, well, you can take your time. Take your time. You can come 1 year from today, 2 years from today. Once you realize we are real, please come. No problem. We will welcome you. And I go on to the next person. Like, I don't have to be begging you because this is not us begging people. We are not begging people. All right. So people need to understand we are not begging people. And then some people who say, come and convince me. I'm like, no, I'm not going to convince you. Like, how do I convince you to take a holiday with your family? Like, even before I come to you, you already want one. So why would I come and convince you? Please take a holiday with your family. I don't have to beg you. I'll just come share the same concept with you, show you a better way to travel the world, and show you an opportunity where you can make money. And if you're open, you get it. Because come on, at the end of the day, the mind works just like a parachute. It works best when it's open. And so does that also goes for you as a new member. See, when you got started, you saw the presentation. You were open-minded. Now, when you get in, you go ask someone who has not seen what you've seen, and somehow they talk you out of your deal and you get discouraged and you quit. The only way you're going to fail is if you quit. But if you do not quit, success is certain. So staying closer to the fire is what I would tell the new person right now, and attending trainings and going for these big events, because that builds your confidence and you're able to speak from a point of you have seen something they haven't seen, so you know this is real. Then you have no fear. But if you never go for any of these, trust me, even you have doubts in it. And it all comes to having faith. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you'll move mountains. But if you have doubts the size of a mustard seed, you're finished. Uh-huh. There you are. There you go.
Wow. So I was just taking some notes. So I think we can agree that the person with the most certainty wins. And so how do you get certain? You stay close to the fire. And also we have our next big event coming, right? Like we have
Mhm.
Athens coming. And so if you're new and you don't have that certainty yet, you have to be there. It's a requirement if you want to be successful, because that's where the certainty is going to come from. Like they cannot shoot you down if we're certain. And then a couple of other things I picked up. Something so important that you said, Martyn, that I want everybody on the call to like kind of think about demographics, right? In terms of your audience, we're building a business here. Some people, like, they're not building a business. I don't know what they're doing. But when you think about who am I showing it to, and I have a story on that. You know, I had this team in Dubai a few years ago, and I flew to Dubai, and she was constantly showing people that they were in really difficult situations in Dubai. And like, while I understood her want to change the world through helping the lower class of Dubai, she was never going to get anywhere doing that because what they needed was employment. They didn't necessarily need, an opportunity. They needed survival. And those that are in that mode sometimes, it takes a few special ones to be able to see opportunity when their back's against the wall. And so we really got to consider who are we showing? And that's not playing God, that's not being picky, but if you show too many like that, you got to switch the game, you got to switch it up. Otherwise, it's like banging your head against the wall. So this leads me to the next question, Martyn. So let's say you've been around for a while and you're kind of at that place where you're showing people, you're not getting results. How are you changing it up? How are you pulling yourself out of that rut to get your next win?
That's a nice one. Actually, these are very good questions, Mel, and I really appreciate you for asking me these questions because we pretty much are going through the same thing, all right? So you've been around for a while, and you're kind of showing people, and people are not coming through. See, the problem is you're showing the same old people. That's the problem. You're showing the same old people. Some people are tired. Some people are. Some people have, they're tired. They've been in this industry. Maybe they've tried out over and over. And you see, the thing is, sometimes you are going to get maybe 2 out of 10 that have been in this industry, and they will look at something with intent. They will look at something and really internalize it. But most of them, most of the old people that are looking at it, they are looking at it and only comparing or remembering what they had in the past. And if it was bad, you're never going to get them. Okay? You're never going to get them. So if you've been here for a while and you're here right now, I would highly recommend forget about the people that you knew in the same space. Start going for new people that have never seen this. That's what I'm doing. I'm in traffic. I'm looking at people over there. I'm like, hey buddy, how are you? How's the traffic going? Are you tired? Are you crazy? Are you mad about it? Are you like, come on? And then I ask you, hey, by the I'm working on something. Are you open? Like you make fun. You start having fun with everything that you do. And again, that also, I could say maybe comes with I don't know if it comes with experience, but I've chosen to go crazy. I just want people to say I'm crazy. I love that. Like I'm gonna be crazy. Have you haven't seen crazy? It's about to get crazy, like real crazy. So the thing is, meet random people that you do not even know. Because see, imagine you're walking to someone, a stranger, and I say this because the person that introduced me to this was a stranger. So I have no problem meeting strangers because I was met as a stranger to that person, a stranger to me, and I was able to enroll, to sign up. So why wouldn't I meet strangers and get them involved? And in my previous company, I think I built the biggest team with strangers, not people that I knew. So if you've been here for a while and you feel you're burning out because you're talking to the same people that you knew, and they're not joining or they are taking their time. You've talked to them, they're like, okay, we are coming, we are coming. That's the word we hear all the time. We are coming, we are coming, we are watching you, we are coming, come on. What do you mean you're coming? No problem. Go on to new people. Start talking to people that have never even seen this, that do not even know anything about this industry. And what I love about the team currently that we're building, these are new names. They're just a few people that were involved in the old companies or anything like that, but we are building with new people. Now, when you're building with new people, understand that you as a leader, you're dealing with someone who knows nothing about the trainings that we had. So as you're handling them, you need to know, you ought to know these are new people. They do not know anything. Now, avoid giving them too much, like trying to train them, to overtrain them, trying to overtrain people, because just teach them the basics, how to invite, get into the back office, the basics, how to sign up, how to do this. Basically, show them a way. Don't even mention it, but to me, what I use ignorance on fire because it's by far better than knowledge on ice. Now, most people want to come in, they want to study the back office. Come on, go ahead, study the back office. You will teach me because I don't know a lot in the back office, to be honest with you. I don't have to learn all those things in the back office. No, as long as I know where to pick the link, I know how to sign up, I know how to log in, I know how to do the basics, really and truly. That's all I need right now because a lot is still being improved in the back office until December. That is when I probably will try to, I will have learned maybe along the way because there is someone who will learn something, they show it to me. That one, I add it on the list of the things that I know in the back office. I go on to the next one and the next one. By December, maybe I'll have known everything in the back office. But as for now, I promise you, no, I don't know so much. All right. So here is the deal. As you're dealing with new people, also understand that if they've never really seen this, you need to show them, you need to teach them how to invite. Now, you need to tell them the importance of attending trainings, okay? The importance of attending trainings and the importance of literally being teachable and coachable because most people will come in and you tell them, you have to learn how to invite. They're like, come on, I know how to invite. Just to invite someone, hey, come travel, money. No, that's a wrong way of doing it. But if they insist, then let them go ahead and make all the mistakes that they want to make. Sometimes you don't have to push them so much, right? Now, when you're dealing with new people, you don't, and especially if you've been here for a while, you don't have to push them so much because if they do something and you're like, no, that is wrong. They do another thing, no, that's wrong. Sometimes try to look at it from their point. Let them go ahead and make a couple of mistakes. It's through those mistakes that they will learn not to do that again. Drag them to a training. Let them listen to someone. Let them listen to someone else. Let them learn from there. You know, I had about 23 people in Dubai, and the majority were brand new. And they got there, they were blown away. Like everything that we were talking about, Eric G was mentioning stuff like that. Jesse McPherson said all the things, like everyone. You know, I would look behind and I'm looking at the same people that have been telling the same things. This time around, they're hearing it from someone different. And I'm thinking, they must have been thinking, man, come on, did these guys plan this? But hey, they got to understand that that is the system. And you follow that simple system, success is certain. So, being here for a while, yes, you can talk to the old people. I am doing that. By the way, I've been doing that for the last couple of weeks, months, but now I'm switching to strangers. And that is where you're going to see real momentum because I wanted to give them a chance to see it before I go crazy. So now I'm going to go crazy with strangers because I know I've built this before with strangers and it's exploded and I'm about to do it again. So, I mean, normalize meeting people and telling them about your business. Don't be shy. I mean, trust your business, trust the system. Okay. The only way to gain that confidence, though, is once you stay around the fire, you attend these calls, and then you go for a major event. The major event, I promise you, will seal that for you because you get to see lots of people from different parts of the world, and your confidence will go up there. And that way, you can afford to talk to any single person that you meet without any fear. And that's what I would advise anyone that has been here, old, new, and that's exactly what I'm doing and using with my team.
Amazing. Like those trainings that you go to and this like sad little person comes along and they're like, I've spoken to everyone on my list. And you're like, okay, go get a new list. Um,
Exactly.
and so I kind of like wanted to share from, you had a traditional business before. Yeah, I help traditional businesses as well, like figure out their sales side, just on a different level. And it kind of reminded me of this story, right? So like, there's only so much money you can get out of one list. And there's only so many times you can speak to the same people about the same product. And so at that point, when you've exhausted it, what do these other major companies do that are not even in the network marketing space? They go and do adverts, right? They advertise. So here we're building a business. Go and be your own walking billboard, for God's sakes. Like you could just be the advert yourself, and you don't need to pay Facebook to advertise for you. Like you can post something, or you can talk to someone at a party, or you can go to a restaurant, or like Martyn. My God, how crazy is that? He's driving in traffic and he puts down his window and he starts a conversation. I love that. I love it so much. That's amazing. So, guys, if you say, I don't want to hear that ever again, I've spoken to everyone on my list, go create a new list. Go get a new list. It's fine. And then I think the other thing with the don't overtrain your team, teach them what makes money. Then they'll learn what they need to know as they go along. You got to teach them what makes money, and what makes money is inviting. Just teach them only the invite until they make their first check. Then you can teach them something else. And you know what? If they don't make that first check, you haven't taught them inviting properly. So do it again. Do it again. Do it again. And so, Martyn, we have a question here from David. And I'm excited to like dig into that a little bit because okay, sure. Like we have our travel club membership, right? And he said eventual benefits. But like let's talk about like the products and how those have impacted your life. Like share a little bit with us about those.
Like specifically which like for example, well, uh, I'm
Whatever.
leading with travel.
Yeah, but how's that impacted your life?
Oh wow. As for the travel, well, I just did my first ever escape. That was about 2, 3 weeks ago in Dubai. Okay. Now, well, I've been in the travel space for 10 years. I've been in this industry for 10 years. And up until 2020, I think my last trip with my family was in January 2021. And we spent a whole week at Atlantis, the Palm in Dubai. And it was an amazing trip. But sadly, that was like the last trip that we had as a family. That was the last trip we had as a family. And well, we've had a couple, here local and but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. All right. So and looking at the product that we have, so this is travel, our travel membership. That's one of the products that we have here. And of course, we have other physical products as well. But I think Mel, you'll be best placed to talk about those other products that we do have in our ecosystem. And I will talk about the travel aspect that we do have, and then we also have an OTA, that non-online OTA, which is the benefit that we do have as a club, okay, that you can get to use and get to save money, get to earn reward credits as well that you could use in future to actually book hotels, and you don't have to touch your pockets, okay? So we have all that, all right? So to me, the way it has impacted my life is I've been able to take my children to places where the history happened, as opposed to reading about the history in the history books. Now that gives me a lot of fulfillment in knowing, while we are seated there, we're pulling up pictures of this place, that place, this place. But sadly, the last 3 years, we haven't been able to take any trips, any significant trips. And it was getting to me because my children were asking me, when are we traveling again? And it was beginning to really hurt. Okay, until Matt reached out to me and told me about Viago. So when I saw Viago, I saw a second chance at life. And I remember calling my kids and telling them, hey, we are back. So travel is back. They're like, what? So when are we taking the next trip? And man, I looked at Greece and I'm like, come on. I texted them, hey, we're going to Greece, only to realize their school ends on 21st of June. And I'm like, no. But anyhow, that will be the summer holiday. And obviously, we will do a trip every holiday. This time around, I promise you, I mean, I'm going to be taking my family on a trip every holiday. And to me, that means a lot. And that is why I'm so excited about Viago and so fired up about, me getting to build like crazy right now because of that product. So for the rest of the physical product, I believe you could talk about them. I don't know if you have more to say.
Yeah, I wanna just like take a moment and focus on a couple of things you said because some of that could have been missed. And it was so powerful, I got goosebumps. Because you said a second chance at
Yeah.
life.
Mhm.
And you know, an old mentor of ours used to say if you want to find someone that goes really frigging crazy and blows this out of the water, find someone who had success and
Yeah.
lost it.
Thank you.
There's your ace. Because we both know, Martyn, we both been like the top right there and had it ripped away, like through no fault of our own. And we
Yeah.
know what it takes. Like, you see a chance and you will run like crazy to get it. You run like a lion's chasing you. I'm telling you, like you know. And I just want the people on here, a question I always used to ask when I first got started is, where are these A players? Well, these A players exist. They've just gone through turbulence and they're looking for a way to play at that level again. And because they've got something that was taken away, they will run harder and faster than they ever ran before and hold on to it. And
Mhm.
and 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 that's who you are right now. And I wanted to point that out for everyone else. Um, and so, guys, in terms of the other products, look, here's the thing. Everyone needs a product story because if you don't have a product story, eh, you're not going to do very much. Let me tell you, every product I've ever sold, and I've been in traditional sales for 15 years, I've experienced it in some level. Like I've touched it, I've used it, I've experienced the product. And so if you haven't been on a trip yet, book one. If you are saying, you know what, Mel, I don't have the finances to book a trip right now, no problem. Purchase some of our skincare. And let me tell everybody on this call right now, all 80 of you, I have great news for you. Unbelievable announcement. One of our executives just called me from the Dead Sea. We have a 40% off sale on our physical products live until live tomorrow midnight. So I don't want to talk to the products right now. Doesn't matter what I'm going to say, it's going to matter what you're going to experience. So go spend $20 on yourself. Treat yourself. Invest in your business. Like it's like like you have kids, right? And they go to school, right, Martyn?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't know how it works in Africa, but do the kids have to wear a uniform?
Yeah, they do.
And you had to buy that uniform, right?
Yeah, from the school, yes.
So the school didn't give you the uniform for free, you had to purchase it.
No, you pay for it. Yes.
But you pay for the uniform, right?
Yeah.
And the kids are not making money from the school yet, right?
Nah,
Okay, so you had to invest in your kids' education, even
exactly.
through the uniform that they're wearing. If you imagine the product, it's like your uniform for school. It's your uniform for work. You're learning about your business. Go get a
Wow.
product. Buy a mud soap. Buy a shampoo. I don't care what you buy. Buy something so that you have a story. Because if you haven't used any of our products yet, you don't know what you're talking about. And then
Exactly.
what did we say? The person that's most certain is going to win.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's all I want to say tonight. Martyn, you want to leave us with some final words, like top tip or one word of wisdom for the week. We're about to go into a brand new week of opportunity. Mondays, I love a Monday. Like, give us something to take into the week.
Oh yeah. So now, I mean, I wish I had more time to really go ahead and really share a couple of things, but I'll leave you with one thing. We have a blessing in our hands, and we are right at the beginning. of this. We are right here at the beginning. Now, when I was in the former, company, I remember joining 10 years later, and I remember thinking, I wish I had been there at the very beginning. Now this is here. This is a second chance to most, and it is your first time, your first shot, for those that are just coming in. And one thing that I'll tell you is we have a blessing in our hands, and it is going to matter what you decide to do with it. Because if you were, I mean, what would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? What would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? You're here, you have a support system in place. All the leaders are locked in all over the world, ready to support you, to hold your hand, to show you the way. There's a system in place. Lots of things have been put in place for you to literally go ahead and do your part and get your piece of the pie. But it's all going to depend on what you decide to do with it. Because I promise you, there's always going to be two things. You will either look back and wish you had gone all in, or you will look back and be glad you went all in. We are at the very beginning, and the best time to get onto a plane is when it's on the ground, not when it's in the air. We are currently on the ground. We are basically looking for leaders. We are looking for pioneers. And, you know, it is your choice. You decide what you want to do with this. You don't want your grandkids coming to you and asking you, where were you when Viago was launching? Where were you? What were you doing when Viago launched to the world? So, Mel, thank you so much for having me here. I gotta go kill this thing. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mel.
Thank you so much, Martyn. Guys, let's go get an amazing week. This has been incredible. Share it with your team if anybody missed it, and let's go build something huge together this week. Have an amazing week. Good night.